Hi there. When we're studying how businesses try to become more flexible as an organisation, particularly in relation to their human resource management, we're going to come across a concept, an increasingly important concept called flexible working. So let's just spend a minute or two just exploring what this is and what some of the key benefits and drawbacks might be. Well, flexible working is exactly what it says on the tin. It's all about how the working arrangements that a business has with its employees can be made more flexible, both in terms of when people work, how long they work, and where they work. And on the screen there, I've listed out some of the most popular, increasingly common methods of flexible working offered by some, but not all businesses to their employees. By far the most common and popular and a method that's been well used for quite a while now is part-time working. So rather than working, for example, 40 hours a week full-time, a lot of people prefer to work 2 or 3 days a week, or perhaps 20 hours a week. But there are other methods increasingly coming into play. Job sharing, where perhaps two people might have effectively the same job, but there's only one of them doing it at the same time. And of course, where you work, allowing employees to work either for some or all of the time from home or using mobile devices. And also giving employees the chance to work when perhaps their childcare arrangements enable them to do so. For example, term time working is particularly popular with some parents, and allowing them to have a career break away from the workplace to gather their strength and perhaps explore something of interest to them. So lots of different methods of flexible working, and just one I would pick out in particular, which is increasingly common, is the rise of self-employment, where firms enable employees, well, not even employees, enable workers to work for them on a self-employed basis as one of the flexible options in the so-called gig economy. Quite a controversial area, with firms like Uber and Deliveroo making extensive use of self-employment, but it is an option that works sometimes for the business as well as the employee. Well, just to finish off then, what are the key benefits? What are the potential drawbacks? Well, flexible working, if organised well and if it works for both employer and employee, can have lots of potential benefits. It should be a win-win. Most importantly, perhaps, it ought to be able to reduce the costs, the employment costs of a business. If, for example, they need less space to house full-time employees who are now working from home or mobilely, if that's such a word. It also ought to lower recruitment and training costs if flexible working enables them to improve labour turnover, to reduce labour turnover, and the ongoing positive benefit of flexible working in terms of job satisfaction, employee motivation. I think an interesting one also is that by offering flexible working, it increases the available pool, the number or supply of people who may want to apply for a job attracted by a flexible working option. So lots of benefits for flexible working, although of course it doesn't work for every business. And some of the challenges that businesses face are listed here on the screen. Maybe add one or two of these to your notes. Flexible working, well, yeah, it can be complex to manage, and I think that's particularly the case in larger or more complex businesses. And of course, there is an investment required, particularly if you're supporting employees who want to work from home or work using mobile devices. And you might even argue that by enabling people to work away from the centre, away from, for example, the office, they are losing some of the benefit of working with others. And perhaps there is a greater risk of isolation, loneliness, and also monitoring of those who are working remotely. I don't know, I'm not entirely convinced by any of those as being major drawbacks. I think the benefits of flexible working, if it's what employees and employers want, is usually a good thing. But there we go. That's just a few minutes taking a look at this concept called flexible working.